Hi, I'm Katie Fforde. If you're a fan of romantic fiction, keep watching Book Zone.
Katie, what made you fall in love with romantic fiction?
I think I've always been romantic. When I was a very little girl, I used to love the stories of King Arthur and his knights, and they're very, very romantic. And that was when I was about 4. And I don't think I've ever stopped liking romance since. So I think it just came on me very early.
So what is your ideal for a romantic hero?
Obviously good looking, obviously powerful enough to be able to protect the female, because I think it's quite primitive, our need for tall, dark, handsome heroes. It's because we do want to be looked after in the cave. And I think that's why we like them to be big and strong. And he's also got to be a bit sensitive, but not overly sensitive. I think a hero who's too in touch with his feelings would be a bit wet, and I can't quite be doing with that. But he's got to be sensitive enough not to be crass. He's also, in my book, got to be able to cook. I think there's something very sexy about men who cook. My husband cooks, and I do like it. But I think it is quite a nice thing to be able to feed your woman. I think that's quite nice.
Do you think that women today have too much of an idealistic image of love and romance and relationships? And if so, how much are you and other romantic novelists responsible for that?
I think women of today are just as bright and intelligent as they always have been. And this accusation has been hurled at us for many years, and I'm very used to it. I think women absolutely know the difference between fantasy, i.e. in a book, and fact. And they're quite happy to live with their less than perfect men. I mean, we all live with less than perfect men, and that's fine. We don't expect them to be like people in books, because we do know there's a difference. So I don't actually think women are too demanding because they read books. If they're too demanding, it's not because they love fiction. It's for other reasons.
Let me ask you a question about sex. You write romantic books. There is a certain other author who's written a book with quite a lot of sex in it. It's been quite a big bestseller. What do you think about sex in books?
I think sex in books is great if you're very clever, but there is a danger, I feel, with sex in books, because one person's, heavenly moment is another person's absolutely no, never, please don't ever say that again. And I used to read a lot of Mills and Boon novels because for years I tried to write them and I never managed it. But at the time, some of them had a lot of sex in them, which was fine if it happened to coincide. But sometimes they do things and you just put the book down and just feel, no. So I don't like to be too specific because I think you can put people off and you can be ridiculous. And you really don't want to be either of those things. I mean, I think the author you're referring to is very, very clever. And I think it's amazing that so many people obviously did tie in with her fantasies. And I think that's amazing. But it's not something I would aspire to because I just don't think I could.
Katie Fforde, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.